joined today by David Riekie, Executive Director of Adavale Resources. David, thanks for your time.
Thanks for allowing me to come along, Dave.
2 continents, 2 exciting commodities. What drew you to these specific projects?
Interesting you asked that question. I was actually a shareholder before I became a director. So I liked where they were going, what they had by way of some of the assets that, to my mind, decarbonisation and looking at those sorts of opportunities that are future facing. I became a director as a non-exec director of the company, transitioned to an executive director at the front end of this year. So I put my money where my mouth is. I backed the company and I backed the assets, and I like the fact that the thematic with uranium is very, very strong in a good jurisdiction in South Australia. But also we're sitting alongside a monster, which is Kabanga nickel in Tanzania. We've got a fantastic land package there, 1,200 square k's in and around that area. So we think we've got a dominant position in what we're calling now the East African Nickel Belt. It doesn't belong to any of us, but this East African Nickel Belt is an anomaly in that part of Africa. It extends from Uganda down through Tanzania and beyond. So we think that we're well positioned. So they're good assets in the right space.
And drilling. Drilling's always exciting. People love seeing the drill bit spin.
Yeah, look, that's exactly it. That's the exciting part of any exploration program. But to be able to do that with any real effect or certainty, you'd need to get the ground rules sorted, and you need to understand what you're chasing. And to that end, we had some success this time last year with regards to using gravity. So we found that we were actually using that where we knew was some fertile ground, and we started hitting the right rock types. So that's been the genesis of why we've done a pretty extensive gravity survey, over 1,000 square kilometres. So it's large. Then we pinpointed those areas that were most likely to offer some potential. So we did an HEM or Heli-EM program over about 200 square kilometres. So we've since refined it down to the point where you've done all the groundwork to get to that point, and this is all in relation to the nickel. And now you've got those focal points, those targets sitting in those areas that we think are very prospective. So now it's the drilling, 6,000 to 8,000 metres of drilling underway now. We should be giving an update shortly to market as to how we're going, but we're probably just scratching the surface. We see some good news flow coming to the later part of this year and well into next. Do you want me to talk about the uranium a little bit? The other thing that probably most of Australia's realised that we've had some pretty tragic weather events that have actually just about drowned a lot of animals, as well as actually making a lot of people very upset. Eastern seaboard is underwater. You think that when you had a project in South Australia, which is very prospective, in a desert, you wouldn't have water events that meant that you can't get out there, which what we've had. It's not a joking matter, but we've had the approvals now granted, and we've been unable to get onto the ground until things dry out, and we expect that will happen in January. We've got a program there that we've done some good works with regards to the initial helium signatures, which is showing the decay of uranium, overlaid with gravity, overlaid with gamma. The gamma surveys meant that we've actually done some focal points around rock chips, and we're looking at an anomaly that's about 8 kilometres long. We've got a 150 hole program, which is going to be about 4,500 metres. It's very shallow, which is the real, which is what you try and find. 30 metres means that you can actually get some good results pretty quickly over 3 weeks to find out what we've got there. If they show what we want them to show, which is uraniferous material, we're in a good location to actually start to extend that. So we are in the paleo channel. We just need to know how good it is and how big it can be.
2 exciting commodities, but 2 exciting jurisdictions. Why Tanzania and Australia?
Yeah, look, Tanzania was a focal point and a destination of choice in Africa for many, many years. It went through a period of a little bit of upheaval where it became a little bit more difficult, and some corporate citizens weren't really being good corporate citizens. The government took some quite draconian measures to actually socialise some of those assets. So it meant there was uncertainty creeping into people's minds as to the jurisdiction. It's actually seen quite a significant change with the current President Hassan taking a very positive view on those projects that may have suffered from that. So they've actually looked towards having negotiation teams to unlock the value of projects that should have been going into production, and now looking to go down that pathway. So the jurisdiction, I reckon, has changed dramatically. Probably also a reflection of the fact that BHP's seen fit to come into this area again, where they were the actual people that discovered Kabanga. Right, so they've chosen to say, we want to go back there again. We want to have a look at what we've got by way of a world-class asset, and the jurisdiction has actually meant that they're comfortable. That's Africa, that's Tanzania. So we're well positioned there. South Australia, you know, you can do stuff with uranium. You know, it's as simple as that. There's a process you have to go through. We've actually done the local engagement with traditional owners, so we're happily moving forward with them. If you find something of merit there, you can see our neighbour's boss will actually get things up and going in that space. So it's not only the jurisdictions, it's also the jurisdiction with the opportunity. So we think we're quite blessed with those areas that we're operating in, both in the nickel and the uranium space.
Looking forward, what does 2023 and beyond look like?
Yeah, I think 2022 was a breakout year for us. We've got our ducks lined up. We've started our drilling program. 2023 is going to be the exciting one. That's going to be the opportunity for us to have a number of value catalysts that are going to start to creep into the profile of Adavale. We've got a market cap of $15 million. If we hit anything of significance, either with the uranium or the nickel, I think shareholders will be very, very well rewarded. So our program, our drilling program for both these opportunities are going to be at the front end of the year. And like every good explorer, if we find something of merit, we'll continue to basically drive the drill bit a lot harder. So the successes for us will be dictated by the drill bit. Our expectations will be that we are looking for a resource in both the nickel and the uranium in the coming year. And by just a measure of success for the drill bit in the nickel would be an intercept of between 2 to 5 to 10 metres of anywhere between 2 to 4% nickel. That is stamping success. Similarly with the uranium, if we can actually find anything with meaningful intercepts plus 400-500 ppm uranium over an extended area, maybe 1 kilometre or 1 kilometre plus and open, that's a measure of success. So people should be focusing on those sorts of potential narratives that are creeping into not only our presentations, but our releases as they go forward.
2 quality assets, quality jurisdictions, a big opportunity, strong news flow ahead, exciting times ahead for Adavale and its shareholders. David, thanks for your time.
Thanks, David. Appreciate the opportunity.